Hey, I'm Andy Aledort. In this edition of In Deep, we will take yet another look at drone strings. I promise this is it. But my good friend Mark Nunez, who's sitting over there, videographer, guitar world videographer, that's enough, pointed out that the sound of using drones is very much like, Delta blues, an old blues sound. And the reason for that is because when you listen to old blues and Robert Johnson, John Lee Hooker, a lot of that music, those guys, a couple of things. Number one, they used open tunings a lot. Part of the reason for using open tunings is many of those guys were solo performers. They needed to make as much sound as they could coming from one guitar, and you need the chordal references, the sound of harmony, which is chords, along with melodic content to go along with the chords. The easiest way to do that is tune to an open chord, a la Keith Richards. He tunes to open G in a lot of those Stone songs. And you just hit the guitar, and then you can play these melodies, and you've got both. You're sort of accompanying yourself with the sound of a chord. In the way that I'm doing it here, we're in standard tuning, but I'm using a variety of strings and then keeping that string ringing. So it's sort of emulating the open-tuned effect that you get, or the sound of an open tuning, but staying in a standard tuning. All right, we're going to continue in this lesson. We're going to talk about using the open low E. It's a little funny that I saved it for last because it's probably the string that's used most often for drone licks. Anyhow, we're going to do a similar thing as we had done. Let's look at E Mixolydian and find ways to play the E Mixolydian scale and melodies based on E Mixolydian against that open low E string. Okay, here's E Mixolydian in open position. Second position. Fourth position. Fifth position. Seventh. Ninth. Tenth. And then 12th will replicate at the beginning. So here is a melody played basically based on E Mixolydian using the open low E string pedal. So what I did here was I got the sound of the G sharp by bending a G up to G sharp. So remember, you have to always keep in mind what are the notes of E Mixolydian. They are E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D. So we have three sharps, F sharp, G sharp, and C sharp. For those enharmonically aware, that's the same as key of A major. So I went. I decided there on the G string to bend to the fifth, just to keep that bent string concept happening, because it's all warped sound to the feeling of the lick. Same thing there. All right, here's another look. All right, that lick was sort of similar to Jimi Hendrix's Stone Free. Some hybrid picking because I want to keep that steady pulse of the eighth note on the bottom while I'm playing. So I can do both at the same time, play a melody freely, but I don't have to worry about the going away. All right, so what I did there, I just moved that E mixolydian scale shape up the neck, kind of staying on the same string groups, but playing melodies that start higher every time. And that way I can use thematic development in my melody, but similar shapes. So the way the melody moves is similar in each position, but because I'm starting higher on the neck, you get thematic development in your improvised melody.